Hi everyone. Now, people who've been watching my stuff for a while will know that I'm a left-handed guitarist. Now, it has its ups and downs, it has its advantages and disadvantages, and in this video I'm going to be going through the reasons why it sucks to be a left-handed guitarist. I got this idea from a YouTuber called Become the Night. He is the only left-handed guitar YouTuber that I know. Yeah. And before we get properly into the video, I just want to say, if you're new, subscribe and check the playlists out and share with people that you think would like this stuff. All feedback's much appreciated. And now let's just get straight into the video. Just going to state a couple of facts before we get into the actual reasons. 10% of the world's population is left-handed, and 10% of guitarists are left-handed, which is a really small number, really, considering the amount of people on the planet and the amount of guitarists that there are. There is a really small percentage of people out there that, and even musicians as well. I think it was about 35% of all musicians are left-handed. So yeah, we're quite a niche little group. But yeah, here's the reasons now. The first thing, which kind of is intertwined with the first 3 points that I'm going to make, but the first real point is everyone assumes that you're righty. Everybody assumes that you're right-handed. Not just for guitar, but also for just general things as well. Like, I've had instances in the past where people have just given me a right-handed pair of scissors, and I can't do anything with a right-handed pair of scissors because I'm left-handed, you know. But everybody kind of forgets the fact that there is a possibility that somebody is left-handed, and that if you don't point that out, then people just don't know, and people will just assume that you're right-handed like everybody else, you know. And with guitar as well, it's like, because there's such a small number of us, people just assume that you're right-handed. Like, you can go grab a guitar and they're like, hey, play this, see what you think to this, and you think, well, actually this is wrong, this feels wrong, this feels right, and then they're like, well, okay, you're a lefty then, and it's like, well, and that kind of goes straight into the next point, where you can't play the majority of people's guitars. Like, if you were in a band and you were lefty and somebody else in the band was a righty, and they say, oh, do you want to play my guitar? You can't, because it's righty. It's a righty guitar, it's not a left-handed guitar. And that's annoying, especially if there's like a really cool guitar that is in a guitar shop and you really wanted to play it, but you can't because you can't play a right-handed guitar. It's really frustrating. And that kind of brings me on to the next point. See, they're all intertwined here. You can't go into a guitar shop or a music shop and buy a left-handed guitar. Most shops, especially here, they don't really sell a lot of left-handed guitars. The local music shop, to me, they have like one left-handed guitar, and it's right at the back of the store, and it's about 100 quid, and it's a load of rubbish, really. And that's it. Out of like the 50-60 guitars that they've got in their shop, just one is left-handed. You might be lucky to go to a shop and they might have 2 or 3 left-handed guitars. Also, luckily, there are actual shops over here in the UK that do cater for left-handed people. PMT in Birmingham and also Anderton's in Guildford, they stock a lot of left-handed guitars, and I got my new ESP TL6 from Anderton's. I rang them and asked them if they could get me that guitar, and you know, a week later it was at my door, so can't really go wrong with that. And also online, there's much more range of guitars than in a guitar shop. So yeah, if you are a lefty and you wanted to get a guitar, just go to Anderton's. Really, they can get any guitar you want, really. Also, just lastly on this point, sometimes the people in the guitar shop or the music shop, if they're not lefties and they don't know how to set up a lefty guitar, it can sometimes be more of a hindrance than a help. Luckily, I haven't had any of these kind of issues because the shop that I've been to, I've had no problems with, and they haven't really discriminated against me being a lefty, and that's fine. But I know for some people, I know that the Mike Become the Night, he said in his video that his guitar didn't get set up right, and it is an issue that some people don't find it helpful because they can't actually help you in a way that they would for a righty. The next one I'm just going to talk briefly about is jokes and, you know, people taking the mick and acting like a stereotype for other lefties, you know. Like, I know that Become the Night had there's a sketch he done with Music Is Win, and he was at a party and he wanted to grab a guitar, and he said, "You have got a left-handed guitar, right?" And he's like, "No." And then they made the joke about you can sit on my stool, and then they said, "Is it a left-handed stool?" You know. But that kind of stuff, I've never got anything like that before, so I wouldn't really know too much about that. And stereotypes, like they stereotype Hendrix and Tony Iommi as like you play just like them. To be fair, I do actually play a little bit like Hendrix. I have a similar kind of style to Jimi Hendrix, where I kind of just play a bit like. That kind of stuff I do, but not a lot. And I've never really had too many people say that, oh, he's Hendrix or he plays like Hendrix. But yeah, it is something that happens, but something that I haven't had too many issues with. Next one on the list is logistics. Now this covers all sorts of stuff. First thing is something that I didn't know before I watched Become the Night's video, is that the tone and the volume knobs are actually the wrong way round. I didn't even realise that until he said that they do all the hardware. Obviously, when they make a left-handed guitar, they do all the hardware and everything, and then they leave the tone and the volume knobs as right-handed. You know, they change everything else to be a left-handed. You know, the bridge, the saddle, everything, the headstock. But then with the volume and tone knobs, they keep the right-handed versions. So it's almost like zero is. I've got mine tuned up, and you can see that it says 0 there, and that's full volume, which is just mad to think that they would do that wrong. And also with other things like getting the setup wrong. I know that Become the Night said that he took his guitar into a guitar shop, and they tuned up his tuned up his bridge the wrong way round. So the top string was set up for the bottom string, and they tuned it the wrong way round because they just thought, oh well, they obviously had a brain fart and thought that it was for a righty, and then they didn't realise that they'd done it wrong for a lefty. Also, for when you're playing live, you're usually condemned to being on the stage left to the audience. You're on the left-hand side. But to be fair, I don't mind that, because when I was in my band, I played on that side, and it was fine. I didn't mind it. Although the bass player that was in my band was also lefty, so that wasn't too bad. We could kind of trade and kind of play each other's instruments, and it wasn't too bad. But for when you're playing a gig, some people don't like that. Especially Become the Night made the point that he was doing vocals and he was on the left, which isn't really right, but it is what it is. And the last point that I'm going to make is left-handed guitars are more expensive than right-handed guitars, and it's actually is a thing. A guitar that is manufactured for both right and left, they usually, the right-handed version, say it's like 450 quid. The left-handed version would be 480, and I have no idea why. I've no idea why. Maybe it's because it's more hard work or more labour to make, because you know I don't know, maybe it's like they feel like we put more work into making a left-handed guitar, even though it shouldn't really. It shouldn't. I don't know how to make a guitar, so I can't really talk. But surely it shouldn't be that difficult really to make a left-handed guitar. You just switch it all the other way round, isn't it? It's like, but I haven't. I've been lucky with the guitars that I've brought. That guitar there, and this guitar I got through someone that I knew, and they sold me these two guitars, which I was really happy with. And the Ibanez that I have, I got through the same person, got it brand new. So I haven't had too many issues with buying guitars and, you know, expenses. But yeah, it is annoying where you see a guitar and you can't, and it's more expensive than the right-handed version. But yeah, there you go. So that has been this video, why it sucks to be a left-handed guitar player. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know if you're a lefty or a lefty guitarist. I'd love to know. And I'll tell you that actually I said that it has its advantages and disadvantages. It isn't all bad. I'm gonna actually follow up this video with why being a lefty guitarist is great. So stick out for that if you can. Thanks for watching if you've got this far, and I'll see you next time. Keep playing guitar.